What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. Now, today we're jumping into a little one-shot. This is Ultimate Hawkeye issue number 1, and this is actually a very interesting story. And this Ultimate Universe has introduced us to new and old characters taking on roles that we know. For example, Hawkeye, Charlie Ramsey. You see, Charlie Ramsey was never supposed to be Hawkeye. This all kind of fell into his lap when the man that was supposed to be Hawkeye abandoned his bow and arrow. Charlie, he claimed the mantle as his own. And ever since then, he has been waging his own one-man war against Roxxon, against the council-sponsored corporations of Midas and Roxxon themselves. But these corporations, they got a secret weapon of their own, one that Ultimate Hawkeye is about to come face-to-face with. Now, Ultimate Hawkeye right now is taking out one of the last gun manufacturers, gun runners, that are left here in the major US area. And our Ultimate Hawkeye has been taking out one gun runner after another. But taking out this gun runner, this leaves a token behind. Now, this token is gonna take our Hawkeye to a place known as Circle O, Room 13. That's the place that he needs to go. That's the location that he's headed for. Now, as he gets into this place, he's got to get through the main gate. He's got to get through the whole passcode. But once he gets into this place, it's for the rich and famous to fulfill their sickest and darkest desires. From women in cages to whatever sick fantasies these rich aristocrats can think of. But our Hawkeye is here for a very specific reason. Here for a very specific person. Here to get photos, incriminating evidence of a senator. But when he gets into room 13, he quickly sees that this was all a trap. They shoot a dart and it's able to land into Hawkeye's neck. And that dart, it slowly causes him to fall asleep. He tries to hold his own, tries to lift his bow and arrow, but it does nothing for him. The drug is already taking effect. And by the time that Charlie comes to, he finds himself in a cell, a camera up in one corner, and in the other corner, on a table, there's a hammer and there's a ruler. They knew that Hawkeye was coming. They laid this entire trap for him. Tonight is the trials and tribulations of Hawkeye. Now, he is given a choice. We're gonna open up the cell door, and it is your choice to take the ruler or take the hammer. But you can only take one. Considering the circumstances that Charlie finds himself in, he decides to go with the hammer. Can't bash in any people's skulls with a ruler. Given all these psychopaths here, he thinks it's better that he takes the hammer. Making his way through the halls, this leads him to his next trial. Before him stands two plates, one with a handprint and one for a ruler. If he had brought the ruler, he would have been able to place it down and it would have opened up the door. But because he chose the hammer, Charlie must place his hand down on the plate and smash his own hand with the hammer. This is the only way to get the door open. There is no going back for the ruler. It is either this or death. And so, with no other option, he sets his hand down on that plate and he smashes. He bloodies his hand. He doesn't break it, but it's definitely bruised and it's definitely not at top-notch quality right now. But this does open up the door to the next room. This allows him to get in there, and what he finds is his armor, his bow, his arrow. And given a path of pretty much left or right, he chooses the middle. He uses one of his arrows, he shoots down a wall, and he jumps through. And while they admire his choice to take the middle path, they tell him that he might want to have saved his hand because he messed his hand even more. If it wasn't broken before, it's probably broken now. But now he has his final choice. They tell him to pick a color on the medicine wheel, and he might just see the sunrise on the next day. As the robots charge forth, they attack him and he has to choose and choose quickly. Now, each color is a direction. New beginning might be yellow, it might be white. Sunrise feels like yellow, but this could be a distraction. Colors also aren't logically aligned with their meanings, as his grandmother had once told him. He remembers his grandmother's living room, the couch that used to be fire engine red, new beginnings that burn away the old, that it's red, the east, the new day, a leap of faith. he jumps in and he finds himself in a pit of despair, surrounded by the rich and famous, surrounded by Midas. Now here, Hawkeye faces the final challenge. Midas says that after everything you have done, the pipelines you've destroyed, the millions and billions of dollars that you have cost us, this is your punishment. This is your final trial. One way or another, you'll walk out of this, but you're not going to be messing with us again, dead or alive. It all comes down to this moment. Entering the arena, we have the one, the only, the Ronin. Clint Barton has made his arrival in the Ultimate Universe. Now, Midas goes on to explain that both Clint and Charlie's family, they're in the crosshairs. They will fight. One will walk out of here, one will not. If they choose not to fight, their families will die. Ronin owes the companies just lots of money. He's a gambler. If he survives, the debt will be forgiven. And as the Ronin stands before Charlie, he says that you're not worthy of the Hawkeye mantle, and I'm about to take it from you. Now, our Hawkeye Charlie, he's already got a busted hand. When Ronin charges in, he can tell that the Ronin's fast, possibly military trained. And this is not somebody that he's ran across in his time as the Ultimates. The Ronin telling him that you cannot take what is not meant for you. We see the Ronin go in on him, and really, Charlie is no match for it. Not in his state, not in his condition, and not bow against sword. Clint gets the upper hand. Charlie is on the ground. He is bleeding out. Midas tells him to finish it. In an act of desperation, Charlie reaches for an arrow that blinds. Shooting it into Clint's face, it blinds the Ronin. His sight completely taken from him. His mask burnt from his face. This is where we get to see the Ultimate Universe's Clint. And Charlie's gotta ask, like, who are you? Who is the Ronin? Why are you doing this? What is going on? And Clint tells him that I'm the one that was supposed to be you. This is when Midas comes over and she puts a bullet into Clint. She turns him to gold. The process completed. The battle has been won. And with Charlie knocked unconscious, they drop him on the streets. Drop him with a token and a letter. Charlie underestimated Roxxon. Much more dangerous than he had possibly thought. But the letter that they wrote to him, it says that we kept our word. We're not total monsters. But with that being said, the right to be called the Ronin is now yours. If you desire to don the mantle, leave the token under the archway and we will contact you for engagement. But if you ever raise another hand against us, we will exterminate your family in front of you before we cut you from ear to ear. And that will be where this issue ends. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely not a bad issue. Definitely a fun one-shot. Now, we've all been wondering, where the hell is Clint? What happened to this planet's Hawkeye? He kind of turned down the mantle and he went straight Ronin, which I absolutely love. He essentially became a gambling addict who amounted such a debt with the Midas Corporation that he became a mercenary for hire. Well, I guess a mercenary for hire is kind of redundant. Mercenary means person for hire when it comes to military activities. He became a mercenary. He became a gun for hire. And in the end, he fell to Hawkeye. But more than this, we're seeing how powerful the Roxxon Corporation actually is. You know, they're facing against the Council and the Maker, but they're also facing against the world that has been built around the Council. The people, the government, everything that has been set into place. And if you start knocking over dominoes, things are about to start falling. And as those things start to fall, people are gonna start to get mad. They're gonna strike back. They're gonna attack, as we see here with the Midas Corporation. But now seeing how truly dangerous they are, Charlie Ramsey will not be making the same mistake twice. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that has been going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. This is a lot like Patreon. It's a bunch of different perks. It really does help out the channel tremendously. I think we have it as low as $2 a month. But if you're not able to do that, please simply do me the favor of subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, hitting the notification bell. And with that being said, until the next breakdown.